team like Kyrie and KD, or the Lake Show with King James and AD. Wish I could match him up with the bad boys from the 80s, but no black and white, I need that in HD. HenDawgz.
Yo, what's good, y'all? It's your boy HenDawgz, and we back to it. You know how we do it. So the other day, I had to go to the Ritz-Carlton, take care of a few things. And while I was there, I was outside, and guess who I met walking in? Yeah, you guessed it, Kawhi Leonard. Kawhi Leonard was walking into the Ritz. I think he was going to the residency part though, so he's living at the Ritz in downtown LA, which I was kind of surprised because I was thinking like, I would feel Kawhi is one of those players that would like live in the valley or live in like kind of like the street areas, not busy downtown LA. But shout out to Kawhi, man. So because of that, I was like, man, let me react to some Kawhi Leonard videos. Like, it's only right that I react to a Kawhi Leonard video. So the 75 stories. You know, I told you I'm going through all of them, so it's only right that I react to this one. But before we go into this one, make sure y'all subscribe to the channel. We're on the way to 10K. We're almost there. So I need y'all help, man. I need your help. You right there. You think that subscribe don't matter, but trust me, it does. If everybody that didn't believe that it mattered, believed that it mattered, I would have probably 100,000 subscribers at this point. So please help me out, man. It would definitely, help the algorithms. It would definitely help me, plateau my channel up even more. Especially if you like it and if you comment. So I appreciate y'all in advance, and shout out to the real ones that already do all that anyways. Y'all good with me for life, man. I appreciate all of y'all. But let's get into this video. I feel like Kawhi is one of the best players of my generation. Like, don't really think about it too much because he's so quiet and he hasn't really won a championship in the last 3 or 4 years. But if you really look at it, like, there's not too many players that did what he did. He didn't pretty much beat everybody you can think of throughout his career. Like, he didn't beat LeBron at one point. He didn't beat Giannis. He didn't beat pretty much everybody. Like every single superstar you can think of. He didn't beat Steph Curry. Like, he didn't beat everybody. So let's get into it. We got Kawhi Leonard 75 stories. Let's get it.
If a player can be quietly spectacular, it's Kawhi Leonard, who has distinguished himself as one of the most dominant superstars of his era. His smothering defense and clutch scoring elevated him to success on the game's biggest stage, winning Finals MVP with 2 different franchises.
Taking my thumbnail right now. Hey.
That ball is destroyed. The best two-way player that we have in the NBA.
Yeah, I remember early in his career, and I was with the Clippers at the time. I think it was myself, CP, Chauncey, and maybe a couple other guys, Willie Green, I think. We were all playing like fake GM, who would you take? And I was always a big fan of his then. He wasn't really even playing that much. I just saw what I saw in short bursts and limited minutes, but I saw his feel for the game. He always made the right play. He was so fundamentally sound, and he was impressive. And obviously, lockdown defender. He was still evolving as a shooter and scorer, but he could do everything on the court. And I didn't see this for him. I can't say I'm, Nostradamus and I saw everything coming, but I saw the ingredients was there. And he just had to build upon that. He did that, and that's what made him special. That's what I'm a fan of his to this day.
And what would you like people to know about you?
I'm a fun guy. Obviously, I love the game of basketball. It's just more question you have to ask me in order for me to tell you about myself.
So Kawhi is just...
It took the laugh out there. I was getting ready for it. Why they didn't put the... I guess this is not a video to embarrass him. But yeah, man, like Kawhi, I think I respect Kawhi so much more because a lot of people always said that about me. Is, bro, you don't really show no emotion on the court. Like, you're not a rah-rah type guy. Like, and I'm like, I don't feel like I have to be. And I think Kawhi got that same mentality. Like, he doesn't feel like he has to be out there screaming. Like, it's a time and place for it. Like, you would get up certain times, but for the most part, it's like, I've done this a million times. I've done this so many times in the gym. What I'm doing is not surprising me. Like, I'm supposed to be doing this. Like, I'm not about to be getting here all hype on doing stuff I'm supposed to be doing. So I think that's kind of the mindset that Kawhi had, and I respect it. I respect Kawhi.
a freak of nature. You know, his hands are the size of a frying pan, and the way he handles the ball and worked on his game. He wasn't known as a great shooter coming in the league, and now he's a great three-point shooter. I felt like he always added to a game. He was known as a great defender, as a great rebounder. There's really no hole in his game, and he's definitely fun to watch.
High praise from Dirk. Hey! Get dunked on, Favors. He's strong, athletic, and big
underrated and underappreciated on the 75. You put Kawhi Leonard on any team in the NBA, and they ultimately become a championship contender. When you talk about some of the best small forwards to ever play the game, Kawhi Leonard is your guy, right? He's what you want. Defense, scoring, handles, unstoppable, hustle, heart, all the intangibles necessary, and probably the guy that his peers fear the most.
Shot clock at 9. Murray takes it and tries to jam it.
Give me that.
At the rim. Kawhi Leonard is doing it all. My.
Do you think that that's true though? You hear what Barron said, but he think that his peers fear him the most. Do you think people fear Kawhi Leonard more than LeBron? This actually is a really good debate, because when you first think about it, we're not asking who's better. You know, we're not asking that. But when you first think about it, you would think LeBron off the bat. But I don't know, man. I don't know. So yeah, actually, before you start this video back up, go ahead and pause it and let me know. Let me know who you think players fear more, Kawhi Leonard or LeBron, and why. Let me know in the comments.
Goodness, looks like he blocked it with one of those fingers.
His defensive dominance was the first thing that you noticed early on when he was in San Antonio. Like when he started out, it was like, dude, this dude is different defensively. Like, you know what I'm saying? And it took you a while to see it, because he's one of those dudes that can easily fly under the radar, because he doesn't say anything, doesn't make any expressions, but it was just like you just started to notice. Then you started to see it in the scouting report, like, yo, don't mess around with the ball in front of this dude, like, you know what I'm saying? Then, and I can remember him blocking one of my threes, and I was like, I got a fast release. I didn't get a lot of threes blocked in my career.
That's why the nickname is the Claw.
Give me that shit, Covington.
Just let me take it from you.
I think because of the Spurs system and the way that things was ran, like, all right, he's just an easy plug and play guy. Like, he's just exceptional with that. And that's just like, they never like rebuild, they just reload. And Kawhi was like a perfect plug and play guy. But as we all soon found out, Kawhi was, very special, very different. We saw the demonstration that he put on when he left the Spurs and became, more of an isolation player, in a league where everyone was trending towards the three-point shot. He still was dominating 17 on it.
You definitely got to give him his respect from what he did with the Spurs. But I think what turned him into, arguably one of the best all time was what he did with Toronto. Like, he took Toronto and got a championship. Like, that was crazy. That was crazy. I think that was the year KD got hurt, though, so it might be a little asterisk. But, hey, it don't matter. Who Kawhi had in front of him, he beat. So you can't put nothing past him. He did what he had to do in the games that he played. And he went and got him a championship in Toronto. Like, that's big time. And like I said, that's that time period right there is the reason why he's one of the greatest of my generation.
And then, like, he really, really understood the game of basketball. He played at his pace, even when you try to speed him up as a player, and that's tough to do. Like, defense always like gear up to speed you up to make a turnover or rush you in your decision making. But Kawhi is one of those guys that always played at his pace.
Leonard raises up.
Great E. Pause.
Crazy to think how Kawhi's offensive game evolved and eventually caught up to his defensive game, where he has been known as one of the best two-way players the league has seen.
It's incredible because you typically never see a guy
that started where he did. You know, no one ever saw him becoming a great offensive player. I remember talking to Greg Popovich about it. He said, look, we thought he'd be a good 3-and-D guy. They never in their wildest dreams envisioned him becoming arguably the best player in the entire world. And for a stretch, he had a really strong case.
And no better example highlights his career than Game 7 against Philadelphia. You're on
game
the
winner
call
in the corner.
with Kevin Harlan.
Is this the dagger?
I see he was screaming then.
I can't believe how it went in. Like, typically when you're hitting game winners, you might bank one in, or, you know, you might rattle one in, but to see that ball hit the front of the rim from the corner and bounce once, then bounce twice, and then to see everybody's eyes and then finally have that thing go through the net, I was in a state of shock because I had literally not seen anything like that. And for him to be able to deliver on that stage in that moment really speaks volumes to who he is as a player. And really, you think about him being MVP of the finals when he was 22 years old and some of the other things he's been able to accomplish. It's pretty incredible. And he's still a young man. I mean, he's still got a lot ahead in terms of what he can accomplish. Can he win a third title with the third team? That's what we got to wait and see.
I worked out with Kawhi when San Diego State first got drafted. It was during the lockout, playing 2-on-2, 3-on-3 in my wave. I was like, man, this guy's elite defensively, but he has a long way offensively. I remember being able to score on him. He'd be able to block my shot at times if I didn't get separation, and then defensively guarding him, I didn't think he was that tough. And year after year, he got better to the whole point where when he's in San Antonio during those, you know, losing the finals, winning the finals, you could see it coming. And then in Toronto, you couldn't guard him. With the spacing, with the knowledge of Pop, and then him to put it all together and go to Toronto and lead him to the championship.
Following an iconic buzzer beater and a dominant performance in the finals, your 2019 Bill Russell Finals MVP is Kawhi Leonard.
Okay. Shout out to Kawhi, man. Shout out to Kawhi Leonard. Like I said, one of the greatest in my generation. I don't know where I will put him all time because I'm going to let him just finish his career out before I do that. But shout out to y'all for watching this video with me. I appreciate all of y'all. Make sure y'all subscribe to the channel if y'all haven't already. Make sure y'all like this video and go ahead and write something in the comments. Write who y'all want me to react to next. I just saw Charles Barkley and Magic on there. I'm probably going to react to them two next because those are two pretty iconic figures. But that's probably, but yeah, I guess that's the question right there. Who would y'all take, Kawhi Leonard or Charles Barkley? I know they're two separate positions, so I'm not going to ask who's better. But if you had to choose one to, you know, start your franchise with, who you picking, Charles Barkley or Kawhi Leonard? Let me know in the comments. But I appreciate y'all like always. We out.